Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Player's Choice Flex Show number 6. Special episode with us with Curtis Lazar. He's down today, going to help us out, show us some cool stuff. Currently plays in the NHL with the Buffalo Sabres. If you've watched our show before, we like to show, neat collectibles and from young guns to cut autos to different high-end stuff. And then today, you know what, we thought we'd change it up a little bit. Why not get a current player's perspective of the NHL and the players and autographs and collectibles and all that stuff you get asked by, probably numerous people all over the world that pretend they know you kind of thing. Make it work, right?
Yeah, so, I probably know more about collectibles right now than they do when next season's going to start. But let's have some fun.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I know everybody's always like, when's the season starting? When's this? You probably get tired of it too, right?
So, yeah, again, we're chomping the bit to get back. But it's always good to be home back here in Kelowna. Check out, all the memorabilia that you guys have and, talk about things.
Awesome. I know, well, you've been done since, March, essentially?
Yeah.
You're in the cutoff, so you're really Jones in the go. You guys are on the ice nowadays, like you're practicing already?
Yeah, as you know, we got a good bunch of guys here in Kelowna, probably about upwards of 15 NHLers. And, we're on the ice, 3 to 4 times a week, body contact as much as we can, within the COVID protocols. And it's been good. Everyone's anxious to get back playing, but obviously safety's first. So when the time's right, we'll get going and we'll be putting on a show for people at home.
So I know there's a lot of autograph hounds in town. There's always people asking for pucks and pictures and stuff, and you probably see some of the same guys over and over. With stuff like this, when the rink shut down and you're wearing masks and plexiglass and stuff, does it give you guys a little more distance, a little more freedom to practice, or do you kind of feel bad when you see a kid standing there watching and you wish you could talk to him?
Yeah, a bit of both. Obviously, you see a little kid that's out here and, playing the game that he loves, and it brings us back to our first times on the ice, right? And that made us, kind of follow our dreams and ultimately crack the NHL. And still, the mask gives a little bit more privacy, but still, I'm walking to the rink beside Shea Weber. I don't get bothered at all. They're all at him. But, no, people have been great about it. And, Kelowna's a little bit more low-key as opposed to some of the bigger hockey markets such as, Montreal, Toronto, and so forth.
Yeah, what's the craziest city when you go into? Where's the biggest autograph hounds?
It all depends just kind of the layout. Most hotels have a pretty good barricade of, keeping the distance and allowing us to have our privacy. But Toronto, they're the ones, you go out there if you don't have the time to sign or anything like that, they're going to heckle you. They're going to give to you.
And give you the gears.
Yeah, and so you go into the rink, you're already with, a little bit, fired up, knowing that some guy was yelling at you on the street. But, Pittsburgh's actually another place. We all eat just kind of down the road, and you kind of walk there. Well, the Seekers, they know it too, so they're walking in the streets. But it's pretty cool seeing some of the guys, they're genuine. They have the, the true collections, and it means a lot to them. So any time that we get to, help make a kid's day or some, true collector's day, it's well worth the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, absolutely. When you see a kid asking for an autograph, it's a lot different than a guy with a binder full of 20 of the same shot, right?
So. Exactly. It brings me back, too, when I was that, little kid just starting to collect and getting, the Canucks had their training camp out in Kamloops and going up and getting Henrik Sedin's autograph and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Cool. What do you still look for autographs now, or would you ask a player for an autograph? Like we were talking about that a little earlier. Like if it's something that you wanted to obtain, is it something you would just go get from somebody from us or somebody else, or would you actually ask a player? Yeah, what's the etiquette there?
It's kind of hard, and like we said, as a guy like myself, I'm 6 years in the league, but I'm starting to finally get established where I'm making a name for myself. So the way you kind of do it is, if you want to stick from an opposing player or something, then you talk to your trainer, who will talk to the other team's trainer, and then ultimately ask the player, and it kind of goes through them. And I think for myself, Connor McDavid was one, playing with him in the World Juniors, and I know we'll get to that, but I have a nice photo of me and him, and I said, well, I'd love to get it signed. It was during his rookie season, and getting Connor's stuff signed, throughout Edmonton was quite hard, even for me. And, I have his personal phone number. I was able to text him and everything. He says, yeah, sure, I'll get it done, and a man of his word, he did. So that's awesome. A pretty cool piece to have hanging in my basement.
See, stuff like that's super cool. I could see being a little intimidated, especially some of the old guys. Imagine back in the day, asking Chris Bronner for an autograph or something after he tried to put him through the boards would be a little different for sure. So you played in the Dub in Edmonton. You guys won a Memorial Cup there. Yeah. What's your coolest collectible? What did you bring for us to see today from the Memorial Cup?
Yeah, 2014 Memorial Cup. Actually, I haven't even pulled this out in a while. So I got our Memorial Cup ring.
Awesome.
I don't know how close I got to bring this to the camera.
Maybe we'll get a shot after. Does it look pretty good up on there? That's awesome. So we've had a lot of NHL players in with their Stanley Cup rings. Everybody likes holding them. It's just something, just a keepsake, right?
Yeah.
So it's a super cool piece. Um, Now, is this the kind of thing I know you? I don't know if everybody knows, but you're having a son. You're gonna got a boy on the way.
We're
This is kind
expecting.
of stuff that's gonna stay in the family. You're always gonna keep it. It just be a family heirloom, right?
Yeah, of course, and like you said, there's stories to talk about. And even just
Yeah.
coming down here tonight with this is, it brings back a lot of memories, and it's pretty cool. You're a teenager and you win a national championship, and you don't think you're gonna get a keepsake like this, but it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, so that started you on your way. You're in the dub. You got drafted by Ottawa,
Yep.
17th overall. Did you keep anything from the draft? Any keepsakes or like that jersey or your hat or anything like that? Did you keep that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I got my hat and my jersey, and I think the whole reason for that is the 2013 draft, so it's number 13 on the back, but it's got just the Velcro strip because at that time they don't know who they're going to pick, so they have my name and they slap it on and give it to me. So it's pretty cool, kind of seeing how it's going to go. And obviously, it wasn't the clear cut number one where they could stitch it on beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that night in itself. It's pretty cool, and I mean, I got a bunch of small things that it's digging through that box once in a while or looking at my shelf, and it brings back a lot of memories.
I feel sorry for the players like this year's draft, and like I just watched the NBA draft where they don't actually get to go experience that, and feel that, and be on stage because of COVID. But it is what it is, and it'll get back to those big draft events. We took 20 customers to the draft in Vancouver last year,
Yeah.
and we had just an absolute ride. Super fun seeing everybody on stage. I know Upper Deck's busy behind the scenes of that draft. Were you one of the guys they pulled after you got drafted and had to sign some stuff?
Yeah, I think most of the guys in the first round kind of go through that. So yeah, you get picked, and so my draft was in New Jersey. So yeah, we spent the nights, or I guess kind of that week, still going through interviews in New York City. We make the quick trip down to Jersey, but yeah, you get your name called right away. You're going through the gauntlet. I mean, you're putting on jerseys, you're taking them off for all the patches, you're signing stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's for a welcome moment to the NHL. You're like, wow, this is legit here.
It's the real deal.
Yeah,
Hey, it's like what's going on. But you at least knew, being a card collector, somewhat you knew what those jerseys were for. You knew what the patches and stuff. I know I've talked to players in the past, and they had like no clue what was going on or what those jerseys were for. Or like they were going to cut them up and put them into pieces.
Yeah.
So it's super cool evening. So it's kind of like that whole night's just a little jittery. Then you get right back into it. You realize you're in the NHL. You play with Ottawa for a couple years.
Yeah.
Some ups and downs there, some good years. I mean, I know you don't like talking about too much about the cheeseburger thing, but it comes up every time.
Oh yeah.
So you see that, and we've had lots of those photos, and you come through, and then all of a sudden you get traded to Calgary. What was your feeling coming out west?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of ups and downs in Ottawa. Forever to be grateful for the start that I got for my career. Brian Murray is one of the most, sensational humans I've ever got to meet, and I'm never going to forget him and the legacy that he's left in Ottawa. And once he passed and kind of the team started going a different direction, and I just kind of lost my place. But Calgary came calling and coming close to home. And, although being a Canucks fan, it was a little strange, but Calgary was awesome too. Again, continuing to play in Canada, it was awesome. And again, like you talk about these guys you get to know, play with, play against, and you go from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference. You get a completely new locker room, and it's pretty cool. And just another step in my career.
So those Battle of Alberta, is it true? Like, are you jacked a little extra when you're going to play Edmonton in a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, we never had any games like this past season with goalie fights and the Kachuk Cassian and all that stuff. But there's definitely that hatred, and I feel like even in Ottawa, it was Toronto. You never wanted to lose to them, but the Battle of Alberta, just that Western Conference, the heavy style, or the hitting, the fights, it is real, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of.
So is that a 4-hour bus ride? Do they do that, or do they fly back and forth when they take you there?
We fly.
You fly back there. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's like, too bad it's not like 4 hours of boys on the bus in between, just like they used to do back in the 80s. You see the old, the old Oilers videos and stuff like that, and they were just jacked and ready to go by time they got there. So a player that I know you're kind of interested in, or you liked and collected, in one of everybody's heroes in the card industry, Jagr was there. Yes. What can you say about Jagr, playing with Jagr?
Yeah, Jaromir Jagr. I mean, he's 2 years younger than my dad, I want to say. So he comes to Calgary, and it was an absolute circus. We actually had a team meeting, like Jagr's coming, but he's just part of the team. He just wants to be one of the boys, and hear these stories about him having his own key to the rink and skating late at night. It's all true. That's just what he does. And yeah, when it came to signing things, obviously the guy with his pedigree, for sure Hall of Famer and everything, he was very smart. I think maybe is the way to put it. He didn't handle things easily, and kind of had to give the backstory and stuff, even for your teammates. But that's just how he was. And I mean, if I was a player like he was, then I, could be the same. You don't know, but we got along great and had a lot of good fun times and hearing some of his fun stories, on the plane. And we're all congratulating Johnny Gaudreau on his first career 4-point game, and he's chuckling. Well, I had like 8 one night and stuff like that. But what's pretty cool to play with a guy like that.
But it's not like a guy sitting there signing out sticks, tossing them to everybody jerseys, stuff like that. Like everybody always thinks like it's just a free for all with that, but it's kind of like it's work, it's professional. That's what it is, and like you say, you want to go do those back channels and get stuff. So
yeah, it's
an interesting thing for a lot of players. They don't have like that freedom, even though you kind of want stuff. You just don't want to. Yeah. Well, want to be that guy. Who wouldn't want a game used Jagr jersey on their collection, right?
I mean, he was so superstitious. That's the thing. I mean, he didn't want anyone touching his sticks, and he always had his routines and everything like that. So from a player standpoint, I mean, we more so had a first-hand look of just how this guy prepares and gets ready to play in his mid-40s, which was pretty remarkable.
Pretty crazy. Hey, what shape he's in and how he did.
Yeah,
where he ended up. It's nuts really when you see. I mean, he played on some good teams with some good players too, so that helped quite a bit.
For sure.
So time ran out in Calgary. You signed in Buffalo, the free agent. What was a 1-year deal last year?
Yeah, 1-year deal, kind of a prove-it deal. Again, Calgary just kind of you lose your place, and I spent probably much of the time in the American League, and kind of revamped my game and rediscovered myself, and I was chomping the bit to get to a team that has a good potential, good young core, and was on the rise. And Buffalo came calling, talked to Ralph Kruger, who's a sensational coach. And from that moment on, I said, well, let's go and do this thing. And I have nothing but good things to say about Buffalo. I love the city, the fans, their team, and everything like that. And to give me that chance to kind of find my game, which I've rediscovered and turned into a new contract, is pretty cool. So I'm really enjoying my time being a Sabre.
So that's a 2-year deal.
2-year deal. Yeah.
And you got some good players there. You got Eichel, you got Hall just signed.
Yeah.
You got Dahlin. So you're probably pretty excited. It looks like maybe they won't be that. Maybe you guys will be a playoff team.
Yeah, I honestly think that we're going to be a dark horse. And, we're so dynamic, like you said, you name those guys. And just, how well we get along in the room, too. I mean, we've been through a lot together, and even the guys that are long-time Sabres, they haven't seen the playoffs in a while, and they're hungry. But you got to play like Jack Eichel, who's world-class in himself. It's pretty good, and, we're going to be in good shape. So I'm excited to get to Buffalo whenever we can.
Can you tell the difference between the Canadians and the Americans and the Canadians and Europeans, like the way they handle the fans and the way they like autographs and don't autographs? Like, is it constant, or is everybody different?
I feel like everybody's different. And again, it just varies market to market, right? I mean, you go to Buffalo, there's probably more people that are after the Bills than they are us. But then, if you're Jack Eichel in Buffalo, then everyone's after you still. Whereas a guy like myself, I'm walking through Calgary, I might get stopped here and there. At Buffalo, nobody's got any idea who I am.
Nobody cares, eh?
But,
so you can just go.
That's awesome. Pretty much. But no, I mean, it's all different where you go.
I think that's why a lot of the players like playing in LA or Florida, right? They kind of just disappear, especially LA. Everybody's basketball hungry, so it's like, nobody's really bugging the hockey players unless you're Gretzky, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your NHL career. I kind of wanted to just get that to where you are and stuff, and then I want to cross back to your 2015 World Junior year, captain of the World Juniors, pretty big honor. When did you find out you're going to be the captain of that team?
Yeah, so that's again, I was playing with Ottawa that season, and back and forth, are they going to loan me, or are they not? And you kind of see that. I mean, this season, Kirby Dack, obviously different circumstances with the no NHL season going on, so it gives them a chance to play. But for myself, and I had a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth from the previous year. We finished 4th over in Sweden, and I was like, okay, well, we got to win this thing. It's in Montreal and Toronto. It's going to be crazy, and let's be a part of it. So again, Brian Murray, we sat down and had a conversation. I said, I just want to make sure my spot in this team is set, but I think it'd be a great experience for me to go and to lead the team to victory. And and so I think it was December 21st there, I got the call and said, he's going to let me go. And for moments there, Hockey Canada reached out, telling me they're thrilled to have me, and they told me right then I was going to be the captain. And
that's awesome.
That team in itself, I mean, so many, look at their roster, it's incredible the talent we had, and a very mature team that didn't need much leadership at all. If anything, I'd have played, the bad guy trying to keep us even keel. So it was a pretty cool gig.
Awesome. So there's a photo there. I don't know if you guys can see it properly. That's Connor skating in there. That's you in the background. So you're on one of the most popular shots we always have through the store. So you are at least there in some point. I always like that shot because it's just like you guys are just so bearing down on it. So it's just a super cool shot. And then I've actually got this one here. This is the one that's where you've won the medal.
Yep.
And so you've still got the medal.
Still got the medal.
And do you guys get a mini version of the trophy at all?
Just the medal.
Just the medal is what they get. So there's a shot there. of that there, the gold medal and stuff. And then there's like an in-action shot. So how do you decide what jersey you get to take home? Do you get like one jersey from that tournament? That's cool. The red
Yeah,
one there.
I honestly think we wore those reds in the final. I mean, we played Russians. Yeah, we did, and I think that's it kind of ended. You throw it in your bag, and
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no because I know Hockey Canada is really good. They do like an eBay auction and stuff like that, where they do the gloves and the helmets and stuff to raise money for all the charities and stuff. So they do a really good job with that. But I'm always curious from the player's point of view. Johnny Bauer, one time I asked him if he had any jerseys from when he was younger in his career, and he said the only jersey I ever got was he had to sneak it and steal it basically out of the stadium, and he got called back in the next day asking where his jersey was. So that's how different things have gone nowadays. So you brought your ring from that one. Let's have a look at that one
for sure.
Now you don't. These aren't like you're out there wearing these flashing. Well, I guess your days of picking up girls at the bar are done. You got a wife and kids now, but
yeah. So there's, like you said, I mean, I don't think I've taken these out in a long time. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Again, you just think you get the medal, and Hockey Canada goes over the top with something like this, and
that's a super cool, especially the 100th one.
Yeah,
100th year. That's a really nice piece for sure. So collectibles like that, again, like so nice to have a son coming and pass it on, or any kids really, and keep it in the family. We deal with lots of players and stuff that they don't have the family and stuff, and they do end up selling their stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice when we can see the collection build and stuff like that. But that's a super nice piece for sure. Again, maybe we'll get Katie to pop up a picture after with that. So now you've been in the league like 6 years. World Juniors are done. Don't think Olympics is in your future, unfortunately. You're kind of like, your career's there. What is it? Something you ever thought about investing in sports cards, or investing when you see what prices and stuff are going nowadays? What cards are going for?
Yeah, well, it's I've been a collector for a long time, and it kind of stems. I don't even know the exact date.
I know you've been a collector for a long time. There's a reason I asked this. Yeah. It's because Corey dropped this off earlier. So you actually collected this set. It's a 2005-06 Upper Deck set. You collected that here buying packs in the store when you're, well, how old are you? That's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So you were a young buck back when we opened, and then this is a set. Living in Vernon, you would make the trip. So it's actually got the Alexander Ovechkin rookie. Don't lose that. The Ovechkin and the Crosby rookies. So these are actually yours.
Yeah.
So is it true? I keep hearing Curtis keeps asking for this, or Corey keeps asking for a Christmas present. Do you think that's?
He wishes.
He wishes.
He wishes.
He's sitting there in the background hiding right now. He's wanting it for a Christmas present. So I told him I'd ask. I say, well, you never know. You might just hand it off to him, but it's more likely going to go to your nephew now. So sorry.
I think I just might sign a couple of my own cards.
You might just give a couple. See, here you go. So that's. Do you want to guess what these are worth nowadays? Back in the day, this is 2006. We had the price guide at $400 to $800 was what the set was worth. $400 to $800.
Yeah.
So what do you think a set like this would be worth like today?
Oh, $1,000 to $1,200.
So now the Crosby itself, we used to sell the Crosby for about $100 back then.
Yeah.
Now this is like $1,200 to $1,600.
Oh,
just depending on condition. Just on the Crosby. And the OV, ever since he won the Stanley Cup and he's in, flirting with Gretzky's record and stuff, now this is about $1,000. Wow. A 9.5 fetches about $1,400, $1,500. So isn't that crazy? How like two guys like that back when we were, I was a lot younger back then too. I was only 25 when we started the store, but we had so many of those, and then there's so many other potential Hall of Famers in this Young Gun set. I mean, Corey Perry's in here, Getzlaf's in here, Lundqvist is in here. You probably played again. I guess you would have played against Lundqvist. You probably get some memories against Perry.
I scored on Lundqvist.
Oh, there you go.
So
you probably get some memories with Perry and Getzlaf too, because they're a little gritty. Those guys.
I played with Dion and Ottawa.
Yeah, there you go. So so those guys are all in this set. So isn't that funny how a guy like Phaneuf, you would have been collecting his rookie card, and then years later you're playing with him on a team. I always like that circle of life with stuff. There's the Lundqvist rookie right there.
That Brent Seabrook. So I'm training with Brent Seabrook right now.
There you go. So tell him you got his rookie card.
It looks a little different there.
If you guys don't have the 05-06 Upper Deck set, it is one of the staples in hockey history. The rookies, when you go through here and see the guys that are in here, I mean, it's known basically as Ovechkin and Crosby year. But even like, Cam Ward, and there's guys like Perzogin was hot for a while. Some of these guys that were there, and then they just kind of phase out and disappear, and we get older, right? So So that's Series 1, and then they did the same, much like they do nowadays. Like the new Upper Deck just came out, and then here's Series 2. Series 2 is not as good. There's Getzlaff there. I think Keith's in here too. Cam Barker's in here. Duncan Keith's in here. But it's a really neat set. But yeah, if you haven't dug it out or looked at it for a long time, you're probably like, oh man, I remember some of these guys now. But anyways, I thought I would ask and see for Corey, see if he could we could wrangle that for his Christmas present from you. But it doesn't sound like you're getting it, buddy. So you'll have to buy your own.
Yeah, I'll have to put the Grinch on this one.
Kevin Bieksa, we see him, on TV lots now. He's retired and done. But it's a really interesting set. But the main value is the Ovechkin and the Crosby out of that. So in saying that, we appreciate you being here. I've got a few packs of the new Upper Deck that just came out. You said you haven't opened anything for a while. Bust some packs, see if you can hit the Alexis Lafreniere rookie. That'd be the card you'd be chasing for there. Who knows? Beginner's luck for a while. You know what? The best way is to rip with your teeth, but because of COVID and all that stuff, we can't really do that anymore. So if you just get it and pop the top like that, it's usually the best way. But you're still looking for the young guns, cards like that. They've even got the clear plastic cards and stuff now. There's a clear Mark Stahl. So they've got some neat. There's a young gun there.
He's a good player.
Is he? Yeah, see, there's a lot of guys we don't know. We talk all the time about how you guys would be the ideal investor in prospect cards now because you're playing against them. You're seeing what they're like. You know what their attitudes are like. So maybe something to think about. Yeah. Because if there's a guy that his rookie's selling for $6 and you see he's out there busting his ass, I'll keep open. Might as well finish these. Maybe it'd be good for you to stockpile some or at least tell your brother. There's definitely some cards that they make that are weird looking now. Like there's the Portraits card there, just a design. That's more like that 80s or 90s look. The young guns are what you're looking for dominance. The Alexis Lafreniere young gun in this, to put it in perspective, is about a $300 card. Yeah. So, and he doesn't even play the game. He doesn't even get to play till whenever you guys start back up, January, February. Yeah. Hopefully sometime soon. Series 2 Upper Deck comes out in March. So all those guys that got left behind that weren't in the bubble, that weren't Lafreniere, are all going to be in Series 2. So Byfield and those guys. So there should be quite a few players looking good in that. So see those, they didn't have cards like that back when you were collecting. Look at the shine and the foil on that. So different cards for sure. But anyways, we appreciate having you on for sure. If anybody's got any questions or anything, maybe forward them on and we can get you back on someday. We'll see how the season goes for you. We're actually going to give these two away. So we'll give away this Canada Gold one, and we'll give away this one here. So Katie will post some kind of contest up, maybe like and share or something like that. We'll give these away and ship it out. As always, we appreciate you guys watching and taking your time. And, thanks for having us or being with us, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you.